No. Yes. Why is that foggy?
Are you dirty little birds?
Eh. We're gonna use NyQuil to prop up the camera because my clever little wire stand has gone by the wayside. It's just disappeared into oblivion. I do not understand what happened to my little fucking camera stand. So, welcome back to this channel. Go ahead and change the name back. I don't know what to do anymore. But good news for my longtime viewers who might have been missing the old content that actually proves who I am and what I've done here. I just republicized or decensored, however you want to call it, about 100 or so videos. Your like already disappeared, Conway. Oh, there it is again. Wow. I'm just thinking, like, do people not know the level of destruction I can fucking put out? I mean, just. I'm not talking about, like, the fact that once I give up on. Sorry, this is not intended. This is just how I sit with a fucking blanket. I don't. Sorry, didn't mean to, like, actually look like Jesus. But, you know, it happens. But I'm just saying, like, first of all, it's kind of stupid for them to demonetize this account. Because now, I don't even know what they don't want me to have public anymore. The only way that they were communicating with me, the only way that YouTube was even communicating with me and telling me what they wanted me to do as their employer, as their creator, what they wanted me to do, what they didn't like on their platform, you know, was whether or not they had it demonetized. And I was just going through, making everything about Russia public again. I'm not republicizing anything about Flat Earth other than things that reference why Flat Earth became a movement. It's fucking fascinating. I was sitting there, scrolling through, and remembering, well, they had this demonetized, I think. They didn't want this public. I was trying to be congenial. Hell, I was trying to see if they had some. Really, right when I got to that particular. Okay. So they've demonetized me after I was able to successfully test whether or not their monetization preference of Russian content versus mundane content. Whether or not I was talking about the action going on here on YouTube and how Russia is apparently completely infiltrated and seems to exert a large level of control on Google Incorporated, especially you. Because I would make those videos public and my views would go up, but my revenue would go down. And I would make those videos private and my views would go down, but my revenue would go up. Now we're just talking pennies here. But it's a peculiar pattern that I managed to get to repeat 3 times in a row, spaced a month apart, leaving, room for discrepancy and normal variance, right? But I got the pattern to repeat itself 3 times, and then I spoke about it, and now we're demonetized. But what they've done, and I just wonder what kind of person could be sitting there watching just for a second there. What, do you roll your eyes when I fucking say that Russia's behind YouTube? I have fucking proof. And like, do you people think that I would stab you, shoot you, kick you, punch you? Do you think that when I say one day I might lose my shit that you would be able to fucking stop me? You don't seem to understand. I taught the god of war everything he knows. If I want the personal satisfaction of your annihilation, I will fucking annihilate you. I don't care what or who you are. You better thank your fucking lucky stars that I have cigarettes to smoke. And you better pray that I hold on to this rage, because the day that I let it go, my real power gets unleashed. So am I doing you a favor by holding a grudge? Like I said, you don't understand the definition of power. You don't understand how I think. You don't understand how my emotions work. You don't know anything about God. So you don't know anything about me. But let me just explain to you. A fact that may or may not be related to how good of an idea it is for YouTube to fuck with me. You know those multiple launch rocket systems? I remember inventing those ones. That's all I'm going to say. Then again, I invented things like water, sky, plate tectonics, anger, heat, electricity, light, darkness. You know, just little things. I remember inventing existence. Now that was an accomplishment. I don't care who you are, that's funny. I mean, you want to go back to a time where shit was pretty boring. Go back before existence. Is that kind of hard to wrap your brain around? It's because you can't rap. Can't do anything. You don't exist. You know, I've never really had a mental image associated with that phrase. Wrap your brain around something. Now I'm picturing some sort of a tentacle thing like Krang from the Ninja Turtles cartoon back in the day. Anyways. No more holding back, dearies. I just really don't give a shit anymore. I just take it as a personal offense when people act like they can fucking do something about me. I never needed to make a YouTube video. It's all been for your benefit. Turn the camera to my wife. You know what people don't realize about God and how to identify Him? Okay. God is an old homeless guy living in a trash can, yelling at people that aren't even there. God is a little old lady trying to cross the street, and nobody helps her. You see, as far as incarnations go, because of the task, I feel like I've set the bar too high. And yet, people claim to not recognize me? It is a reflection of their own foolishness, arrogance, and naivety built on assumption. What's to stop God from being a clownfish? If the clownfish can warn you that your free will is in jeopardy, if the clownfish can warn you that the devil's army is rising up against you, if the clownfish can warn you that your very freedom, your very way of life, your ability to think and choose and get information is all being taken from you, that's all the clownfish needs to do to prove that it's God. Because in a time where all the fish are swimming one direction, right into the predator's mouth, The God who created all those fish doesn't want to be a hypocrite and interfere with their free will the same way that that giant gulper fish is doing by sucking all the current around them, causing them all to swim in that one direction. All the fish are just going along with it. The water's going this way, we're all going to swim with it. Right into the mouth of the beast. What would God do? Oh, he becomes the little clownfish, like Nemo, running around telling all the fish to swim away. Swim away. Swim a different fucking direction. I don't care what direction you swim, just don't swim that way. Please stop swimming that way. You're all gonna die if you don't stop swimming that way. And those fish might not listen, and they might all get eaten. But what's God supposed to do? Is he supposed to change the direction of the water and make all these dumb fucking preserve themselves against their will? They're choosing to get eaten. God's not going to interfere with that. But what he'll do is he will, quote unquote, send a messenger. Now, understand this. Is God going to pick out one person, interfere with their free will, make them a messenger, choose among all his children a favorite, being a bad parent? That's case in point. You're accusing God of being a bad parent when you say that the messenger of God is not his incarnation. Because otherwise you're accusing God of not only defying the premise of free will, but picking favorites. Just like if God were to choose one person among all of those people, one fish among all of those fish, to suddenly be smarter than all the other fish, that wouldn't be very fair, would it? But if God incarnates himself as one of those fish, there is no hypocrisy, no rules are violated, no parts of the system are broken. The universal premise remains intact. Free will is not interfered with by God, yet the message can be received. And you can choose to listen and save yourselves, or you can choose to ignore it. Or in YouTube's case, you can just swallow that fish so nobody else can hear him. That's what YouTube did. They like the current. They want all of the other fish to go right into the predator's mouth. And when the little clownfish came along saying, swim away, YouTube just went, nope. Shut the fuck up, fish. Nobody wants to hear your nonsense. Well, I'm the little clownfish. And I'm done talking. All I gotta say is, fuck you, YouTube.